Oi, oi.
Oi, oi. How you going?
Good, mate. You know, very excited for the for the autumn even.
Oh, it's the autumn's just like a slap in the face. It's like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Whereas the spring, I feel is like a slow build up, and then eventually it's like, okay, cool. Here's all the big features. Whereas autumn's just like consistent, just like we bang in consistently.
Yep.
And it's good consistent bangs.
Yep.
And we're just like, geez, that's plenty to take in right now. But for us, as the Hayne plane notoriously said when they finally broke the 8 in a row streak by Queensland in State of Origin, been a long time.
It has been a very long time. And we come with very exciting news.
Yeah, very exciting news. Mate, you have the honours.
Okay. So this off-season, you know, we've been pressing flesh and...
We're talking about banging, talking about pressing flesh. Sheesh.
But it's unfortunate that we announced that our deal with Ladbrokes is no longer.
It's a real shame considering, we were their biggest sponsorship, I don't know, people.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm rusty, obviously.
But what we can announce is that their very good-looking cousins have come along.
Oh, clearly better looking. Yeah, like we've ditched the 6 out of 10 for a 10 out of 10 bird.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. But yeah, Neds have joined the show as a very willing sponsor and partner. So couldn't be happier, to be honest. Really excited to get stuck in. We'll be doing some work with them right throughout the autumn, the winter, and just ongoing. But more details about that will be shared in due course. But yeah, welcome to the show, Neds.
Yeah, great to have Neds on board. Yeah, really exciting. Obviously, Neds and Ladbrokes are both owned by Entain, so it's just a little bit of a hot skip and jump to the next one. We're not jumping around to each bookie who's up in the dollars. That's not how it works.
No.
Hey, there is some money involved. Hey, we're going to be transparent with you drifters. Hey, there is money involved. Okay, we are sponsored. We're going to be transparent, but we do have some exciting stuff that's coming up, kicking off. In probably the middle
when the whips are cracking.
Yeah, when the whips are cracking, that's when we do our best work, right? Yeah. So that's going to be very exciting stuff. Super stoked with the partnership. This dickhead had a bunch of merch that we were going to have for the podcast, but like the dickhead I am, left it at work and is currently not here with us.
Oh, mate, it happens. Other stuff that's happened. Update the logo that's right behind you.
Yeah, and got heaps of positive feedback on the logo. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think, drifters, if you're on socials.
Yeah, I would have thought there'd be no negative feedback at all, but
yeah.
If there is, please find another show.
Jog on.
But mate, there has been a bit happening in the horse racing landscape. Now, I had a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Before we get into big PVL just slamming his piece on the table this week.
He's got his junk out. It's big, it's hairy, it's vascular.
Yeah.
And just basically said to Racing Victoria, what are your thoughts on this package? And Racing Victoria's looked at it and gone, well, I've got appendix, so I can't do anything. Oh, Jesus. Big PVL. Oh, mate, big PVL. He's just whipping it out. He doesn't care anymore.
All right, you know what? Let's not bury the lead here. All right, so PVL has announced with Racing New South Wales this week a few different things, but the main things are the Big Dance, which is a new featured $2 million race over a mile that's to be conducted at Royal Randwick on Melbourne Cup Day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's eligible for... I actually don't mind this concept. It's
great concept.
This one's great because it it actually gets more of those country trainers involved. Now, so horses are only eligible if they actually have been contesting in or have won one of the New South Wales Country Cups throughout the year. So an aside to this, Chris Waller came out before this statement. Now, I'm assuming he actually heard what was happening, surely, that he actually doesn't take his horses to basically country tracks because he believes that to grow the game, you want the country trainers to do their best work in the country because they don't have the resources of, say, a Chris Waller. So, you know, that's great.
Admirable thing to say, yeah.
It is. And it's, you know, a rising tide lifts many boats.
Lifts all ships.
Horses.
Yep.
So, you know, great intentions by Chris, but this could completely flip that on its head here because you could have owners going like, hey, mate, win this country cup and we could win 2 milli at the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point, actually. But on the flip side as well, you've also got potentially better quality of horses going to these country meets, and you would think, as a result, getting more of the punters out in the bush to go to the track and check out these better quality horses.
That's exactly right. So, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out, but I don't mind the concept. I think it's country trainers, they need to be supported as well. Then now the other one, the 5 Diamonds. Both of the names could have used a bit more, I thought.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't mind it. The 5 Diamonds has sort of taken a bit of a stab at the Blue Diamond.
Yeah.
Play on.
But yeah, new $2 million race over 1,800 metres for 5-year-old horses only to be conducted at Rosehill on the 5th of November, which will be McKinnon Stakes Day.
A week after Derby Day.
Yes. So basically what this will do, it will basically shrink the field of the McKinnon, which is Archie won, against like Superstorm and Cascadian and others. And it'll also take away from the Cantala as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. So maybe some horses that are, you know, the mile is a bit short for them or is cherry ripe, but they can stretch out to that 2,000 metres, are going to be looking at this race and saying, do we want to go to the Cantala or do we want to go to the Empire Rose or do we want to just target a mile race a week or two beforehand and, you know, go for this instead? Bold moves by PVL, but as we've said just before, he's got a bold package.
He does.
He puts it out there and see what happens.
Yeah. How do you like the look of this?
Yeah. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah.
What's your rebuttal?
Yeah. I have rugby league to take care of, so make it quick.
Yeah, exactly. Got bigger fish to fry. Look, I think you'll probably see some horses on the quick backup from the Cantala or maybe even the Empire Rose into this race. Am I a fan of it? I'm not a fan. I think the more money spent in racing, the better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just think I don't mind the first one. The second one, the Diamonds, I just think it's going to be Bondi-esque. The Bondi Stakes. It's like
the Bondi's in the scrap heap already.
It is. It's just like I just don't understand it because the Cantala is a brilliant race. I get why he's doing it because he wants all the New South Wales horses to stay in New South Wales. But like from the Cantala going into the McKinnon the next week, there was Colette. Even just from Derby Day, there was Colette who won the Empire Rose. You had Cascadian, Superstorm. They were basically the top 4 or 5. Zaki would have ran, if he could have, in the Cox Plate earlier. So they're probably going to try and take away from the Cox Plate even.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's interesting stuff.
It is. If you look at the Golden Eagle and you sort of look at that field that ran last year with I'm Thunderstruck winning, there were some really, really good horses in that field.
Yeah.
And you sort of look at that and you think, all the horses in that field, would they have run in a Cantala? Would they have run in an Empire Rose? Would they have maybe a Cox Plate? I don't know. So, yeah, there is a bit of toing and froing. I think the more money spent in the game, the better, but it is contentious.
It is. Look, I had a second point, but it's not that interesting. So let's get into our recap of our last ever. We're going to give a nod to Ladbrokes. They were so kind to us.
Well, very kind.
And, we're dating their sister now, but that's all right. But our last article with Ladbrokes was basically our autumn headlines. So we just wanted to see how accurate we were. I've actually got them all jotted down here.
Oh, do you?
So first one was one of mine, and it's already really wrong. So Western Empire wins, I think it was the second. I didn't have the actual article headline here, but
so Western Empire stamps Peter's dominance in All-Star Mile. It was hard to miss Western Empire's dominant win in the Railway Stakes last week.
So he's injured. So yeah, he's out of the autumn, so he can't do that.
Yeah,
it's going to make it very difficult. So that's a big cross.
Big cross. I can't remember if this one's yours or mine.
I think it's yours.
But Waller wins 7th Doncaster with Superstar Filly, talking about Espiona.
Yes. Now that's looking pretty damn good at this stage. She's $9 equal favourite with Animo.
The Mo. We love the Mo. Espiona returning to the track this weekend. She could be anything.
She could be.
She could be.
Mini Winks, they're calling her.
That's what they're calling her. We'll wait and see. I'm a fan, obviously, but we'll wait and see.
25-year first in Queen Elizabeth with the 3-year-old Profondo winning. Now, I had a bit of looking around. It's looking severely unlikely that he's heading there. He'll have I think he'll start in either the Randwick Guineas and then go into the Rosehill Guineas. Now, the Queen Elizabeth is 2 weeks after the Rosehill, I think. So there could be a potential, but he's only had, 3 starts.
What about Mo?
Is he that good? I don't know.
Oh, yes, he's that good.
I don't know.
I think he's unbelievably good.
So for the 3-year-olds, right, is Espiona a 3-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
Long term. Who's going to be the better horse?
Well, it's hard to say because
they've got their nuts.
I'll be too busy in the bloody farm just banging. So,
All
long
right.
term, who's a better horse? Well, it depends on what you really want for the horse at the end of the day.
Who's going to have the better 3-year-old season then? So you have Home Affairs, who's going to be sprinting. Now, apples to oranges, but this is the game we play.
It is.
Espiona.
Yep.
Could be anything. Animo, who...
Oh.
He would look like a bus first up. He was fat. And he ran 3rd behind Overpass, which was, his form was okay.
Massive track bias, 1,200 metres isn't his go. I thought that was everything he needed to be honest. But, I'm one-eyed for Mo. I love Mo.
And then the other one, obviously, Profondo.
Yeah. Who's going to have the better 3-year-old season? Hard to say right now, obviously, because they're going to be going into different races. Obviously, Espiona is going to be looking at the fillies races and being like, all of them for me. Will Animo be in the Doncaster? Will he be in the Queen Elizabeth? I'm not sure. Will Profondo? It's hard to say. I think, as it stands right now, I think Mo's the best horse, but Espiona could very well be the best horse in Australia in 12 months' time. The way they're talking about it, there's some quiet confidence out of the Waller camp. Chris Waller wouldn't be talking about a horse like that unless he was like, no, this is a pretty good horse. Every single jockey who's done track work, trials on her, it's just like, no, this is a good horse. I think Profondo could be anything. Exciting stuff. Home Affairs I love as well. So, yeah, is that even an answer? Or is that just me saying I'm a big fan of all 4?
Well, they're talking Home Affairs going to Ascot.
Yeah. Well, J-Max on him this weekend as opposed to him being on Nature Strip. I think that might be Coolmore talking.
Yes, but also Ryan Moore is the Coolmore jockey over in the UK. So it's like, if he does ride over there, then they're going to have to take Jamie Carr, but also go like, J-Mac could be there just watching in his top hat and tails.
Yeah, geez, that'd be a bit of a waste with one of the best jockeys in the world. Okay, so what have we got next?
I think the
Hat-trick demolition in the TJ. I reckon that's odds on.
Yeah?
I reckon that's likely.
Mm.
NS.
I know
Back to
that-
back to back.
The way they're talking about home affairs, he could knock him off, but he has to make up, 4 lengths?
Oh, yeah. He's got to improve sharply.
Yeah.
Nature Strip's the highest rated sprinter in the world. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, I think he'd be favourite for that race.
Mate, my bold predictions for the autumn. Anyway.
And then the last one was, it was only a matter of time for Chris Waller. He wins his first Golden Slipper. Look,
Early days, it's not looking that likely.
no, I think, yeah, obviously after this weekend, the 2-year-old picture will become much clearer, but it's looking unlikely.
It is looking unlikely. Yeah, look, speaking of Chris Waller and 2-year-olds, bought some cracking ones at the Magic Millions just recently. And, yeah, just quickly, was at the Magic Millions thanks to Craig Sneesby, and was sitting with Queensland Racing there and actually met Chris Waller. So that was awesome. Thanks for the experience. And also met Guy Mulcaster, who, for the uninitiated, actually is the bloodstock agent responsible for buying Winks.
Guy?
Yeah, Guy. What a guy. And it was really interesting talking to them about 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. I had a brief chat about, Chris, I've noticed that, dominate the 3-year-old game. 2-year-olds seem to sort of mature a bit later. And he said, yeah, that's because we just take it easy on the 2-year-olds. So there you go.
Take it easy, big fella.
Let's take it easy. So shout out to Chris and Guy, 2 personal friends of mine now.
Lovely. You know what? Should we get stuck into the first Group 1 of the autumn?
Yeah, let's do it, mate.
The Neds CF Orr.
Yeah, the Neds CF Orr. Thanks to Neds for sponsoring this race, sponsoring this podcast.
Look, the title of this episode is going to be, is this the best CF Orr since Black Caviar won it?
Mate, it's a great race.
It's a great addition because usually you have stayers resuming here. Don't have that here. You have a couple, maybe 1 or 2, but this is a cracking addition.
You've got genuine middle distance horses here.
You have some horses that are as fat as a bus as well.
Yeah.
I'm Thunderstruck, for instance.
I'm Thunderstruck. Jeez, if he got struck by a bolt of lightning right now, I don't think he'd move. He's that fat.
Apparently.
The lightning bolt would just rebound off and he'd be fine, ready to go. Yeah, so which one was it? Was it Mick Price or...
Yeah, I think it was Mick Price.
Yeah, who came out this week and said, yeah, look, I'm Thunderstruck. We gave him some time in the paddock. He's pretty good, but I don't know if he'll be fully wound up for this. He's got bigger fish to fry, which he does. I'm Thunderstruck. What were your thoughts on him / this race?
Look, not too much speed in the race. I think,
Negative.
Yeah, I think Peter Moody's lightsaber will go forward. And he's had a lot of success in this race. I think he's won it 5 times. Black Caviar helps, but he's won. I think she only won it once.
She only ran 1,400 metres once and it was an absolute demolition job.
Yeah. Bit of the Winks effect, but she would have beaten anyone. But the 3-year-olds this time of year, they don't really get the relief at weight for age as they usually would as in the spring. So... And to be honest, Lightsaber's burnt me before, so...
He has. Oh, look, I watched his last race, so he'll be fitter for that. He didn't lead last race. There was a bit more early pace. That was when Marabi came out and just put him to the sword.
Yep.
So, look, I think he'll be fitter. I think he'll get an easy lead. I think they'll run over the top of him late.
Yeah. And speaking of Marabi, out of the Australia Stakes, who Streets of Avalon won that last year.
Yep.
And then subsequently won this race. Sinawong comes out of that race. Look, so I've heard the Freedmans talk about this horse. This is his grand final.
Yeah, this is his grand final.
Unbelievable. Not many would have that. Like, I was like, maybe Behemoth. But no, his grand final, again, is the All-Star Mile. So Behemoth has the tip-top form here. Track, trip.
He's got if you didn't know anything about horse racing and someone gave you the basics and you're reading the form, you look at Behemoth and you're like, this guy for me.
He's $5.50.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll take that one, please.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can totally, and he did get rolled by Camel Passer, but
Camel Passer's he's a decent horse.
He's an honest horse. Group 2 winner down the straight.
Loves the straight.
Loves it.
Eats it up.
Yeah.
For breakfast. Lunch.
He's getting more
dinner.
consistent as he gets older. And Behemoth can put in a poor run, but he was basically doing it hard against the breeze, 3 wide, no cover.
His last 600 was good.
And he finished off quite well. He just got a little bit tired. Barrier 9 is a little bit sticky, but he, Jamie's in the saddle. No speed.
I think Jamie will take him forward. I think he'll sit second pair back.
Yeah. I reckon he'll sit outside the lead.
Yeah.
Be right in there. He'll probably... I'm not tipping him on top, which I think's silly, but he'll probably win.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to a mate of ours this week about this race and sort of said I think I'm leaning towards Behemoth because of the way the track's the way the race is sort of playing out in my mind is Lightsaber goes forward, Tefane and Behemoth sort of follow on in, and you've got Tefane maybe on the rails, and you've got Behemoth right next to her, which is, in my humble, the perfect place to be. And then I heard Friedman's talk about Sinawan, and I rewatched that race with Marabi because I only had eyes for her in that race, and I rewatched Sinawan in that. I rewatched his win in the Kevin Heffernan Stakes, which was the back end of November last year, and he was awesome in that. And he's running pretty slick times. He's got form around a horse by the name of State of Rest, who just came out here and won a Cox Plate. These European horses come here time and time again and pull their pants down a little bit. I think he's drawn perfectly. He might sit just behind Behemoth and Tefane. Yeah, he's my on top. He's in a one.
Yeah, and I think there is a little bit of a nod there from Craig Williams taking the ride too.
Yeah.
Thinking long term with this horse. He's 3 from 4, second up. Absolutely flies second up. I think he's the logical bet in the race. I think the bookies have found him. He's $4 with Neds at the moment. So that's... Yeah, I think he's spot on. Do have Behemoth in for second.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they're the clear 2 for mine. Like, I think it drops right off. I'm Thunderstruck's going to be aimed for bigger things here. Cascadian doesn't go a yard. He needs a big track. Needs a huge track.
Huge.
Wild Planet is just going. Secret Blaze needs further. Probably Tefane the best, but her first up profile is probably not the best. But she is doing it in sprints. This is probably just, starting that middle distance. So probably leaning towards Tefane into third.
Yeah, I think Behemoth is, a real chance. The market sort of says that. If you look at his performance in the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes, yes, he ran 6th, but the 5 horses ahead of him were all on that lightweight. So the weights flip. He's carrying 59. The horse that ran 3rd in that race, the Rupert Clarke, I'm Thunderstruck, was carrying 52 that day. Sierra Sue was carrying 52. She's got 57 here. So he's really well weighted, Behemoth. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I'm going to go Sinawan, Behemoth, and I think I'm Thunderstruck's just a really good horse and he'll come home like a freight train.
Oh, he's in me good books.
Oh yeah, he's got no issues.
Won me the Eagle.
All good, no issues.
All right. Now, it'd be remiss of us if we didn't get the Drifter of the Week on. Now, we did... Oof, that's loud.
Gentlemen.
Pikey, how you going?
Good, J-Mac. How are we?
Yeah, good, mate. Will Marshall, one of the great, organic Instagram managers of all time.
Not sure about that, mate. A few negative growths at the moment.
No, it's all about ROAS, bro. Mate, thanks for joining the podcast. Mate, how are things? How are you going?
Solid, mate. I think you gave me a rough day to tip, but I think I found a few winners, potentially. I was even considering going over to South Africa and having a crack at Val, but I avoided it.
Mate, don't do that. But before we get into your tips, mate, I just wanted to give the drifters out there a bit of a taste of what this man is all about. So Will and I work together, and whenever I come in, say on a Monday morning, I just walk past Will's desk. I'm like, "Hey, bro, how's your weekend?" He's like, "Did me ass." Or
I was waiting for this.
or I had to fill up. Had to fill
How
up.
to fill up or did me ask. Nothing in between. None of the, oh, yeah, about even. No, mate, you're in one camp or the other, which I love to hear.
Yeah, well, hopefully I'm hot this week, eh?
Yeah, well, rumor has it, mate. A few of your mates, they had an absolute fill up throughout the spring, but they actually didn't do the form. They just went for the Waller J-Mac combination.
Yeah, I fucking hate that combo shit. Eh? like you read the form and you're like, okay, this horse could obviously win, and then you just see some random J-Mac Waller horse that, I mean, it would have okay form, but it just grow wings.
Yeah, I know. It's mate, they're both superstars. So
Yeah.
the J-Mac and Waller effect. But mate, talk us through the CF Orr. How did you see this race? It's a few resuming here, a few second up, but you were talking to me during the week, and you do like the big boy.
Yeah, I'm thinking Behemoth. I just think it's, experienced at the level, and I like that it's had that first up run. I think it ticks those boxes compared to some of the other ones like Cascadian, who obviously has some really good class, but first up, and I don't think it will get the pace. Then on top of that, like versing some up-and-comers like I'm Thunderstruck and Cinewan, I think it's just sort of that nice in-betweener.
Yeah, no, I think you've nailed it. We haven't gone for it. We've got it as our second pick. We've both gone for Cinewan, but I think you might get the chockies there. Mate, what about the rest of the day? Have you got a bet for us across the program?
Look, I'm thinking Coast Watch, race 2 Caulfield. Now, I do like the Waller effect, but I'm not sure about Craig Williams at the moment. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but let's just hope Waller can sort of make him good on the day. If we look at his form back, when he was a 2-year-old, he was second up over 1,300. It was 0.1 to Tiger of Malay, and then I reckon the key one was where he third up. It was 1.7 to In the Congo, and it beat home a Torius, who's I think a favourite in race 8 or 7 or something at Caulfield on the day.
Yep.
Which is probably a much stronger race. So I think, might get over the top of them late. Probably the main concern would be the fitness, but it's had 2 trials. I think it just has the class over the top of them.
Yeah, he should. He usually does all the hard work out in front too. So Craig on a leader, he can do them to perfection sometimes. So I think you've got a good one there. Listen here, drifters, chuck in pre-to-turn in for a Quinella there. At $26, I think you could do worse.
Bit of a Macca Jones ruppy.
Mate,
Macca
why,
Jones. Oh.
why not? Why not?
Who's he?
Oh, mate, Yonkers is in this program. Don't you worry about that.
I was actually tempted to whack it in there, but I avoided it.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Mate, that's about it, really. Did you have anything else that you wanted to touch on, bring up?
Nah, mate, it's just an honour to be on the best racing podcast there is.
Oh, we're gonna
sheesh.
We're gonna cut that up.
Yeah, sheesh. How much is Hutch paying you tomorrow at work, mate?
Mate, it's just for the row out. You whack it in ads on Facebook, and you fellas will blow up.
Yeah, it's all about that row ass, bruh. All right, awesome. Thanks for that, mate. I'll definitely buy you a coffee or something.
Appreciate it, brother.
All
Thanks,
right.
boys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, mate. Catch ya.
See you tomorrow.
See ya. Bye.
Wait, you're telling me we have full-time jobs? This isn't a side hustle for us?
Unbelievable, right?
The drifters, their minds has been completely blown.
Look,
thanks,
now,
Will. That was good shout.
Mate, he's a good man, and all I have to do is walk past him, give him a look. He's like, "Dim me ass."
We want honest punters.
Yeah.
People at work ask me, how was your weekend? I'll be like, yeah, I picked the cart. And for some reason, they believe me.
Now, this is going to stretch your memory, but who was the lightly weighted European in the Melbourne Cup last year? All right, whoever it was.
I don't know.
So it was basically the cross counter or the.
The thing that I usually like backing, the Tiger Moth type.
Yeah.
I spoke about it. Yeah.
All right, let's call it Tiger Moth.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, for last year's Melbourne Cup, very elegant one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, he messages me. He goes Tiger Moth, tell no one. How'd that go for you, bruh? But it gave me a
horse?
chuckle. I can't remember.
That's
anyway,
really frustrating.
yeah, that's all right. Look, there is plenty of other racing going on.
There's only one Group 1, but sheesh, what a weekend of racing.
It is fantastic. So let's get stuck in here. We'll spend about 5-10 minutes just having a look at the races on the undercard in both Melbourne and in Sydney. Might give out a tip here and there, but just our general thoughts. Let's start with the Colts and Geldings prelude. Look,
Sorry, where are we?
we're in Caulfield.
Oh, of course.
Race 3, Colts and Geldings prelude.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I'm with you.
No, thanks, mate. You have Count the Headlights as favourite. Kieran Maher, Dave Eustace.
Jack Winott, sorry, is the favourite.
Oh, Jackano, yes.
Was it Jackano? Is that how they pronounce it?
I believe so.
There you go.
Yeah, I missed that one. I don't think he'll win. I'm a fan of the Freedmans again here with Dormier. I think it was absolutely brilliant, its first ever run. Beat Rampant Lion, who's won down the straight, I believe. Yeah, they say this thing's quite good. Mark Zahra in the saddle. They've basically won this weekend previously with Lyre a couple of years ago. Whenever they have the Godolphin horses, they usually run pretty well. So
yeah, no, look, I'm not diving into this race. I've heard really good things about Jackino. Its time and its first win apparently wasn't super, but heard good things. If I was going to spec on something at odds, I'd go River Ribble here. Hit the front in its debut race and had no clue what it was doing. So it just sort of faded, but I think it'll, like all 2-year-olds, take a lot of improvement out of that. The Freedmans again, Craig Williams on board, terrible silks. See what happens.
Speaking of those silks, did you see the grey horse against Zaki?
Yeah, Sweaty.
Yeah.
What's it called? That's really annoying me now.
Yeah.
Law of Indices.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
I don't
Grey
think.
horse.
No, I don't think it was that one.
Is that Law of Indices?
No, I don't think so. It was.
Oh, that's really annoying me now.
Hold please.
It was on Annabelle's.
Gold. No, it wasn't Gold Trip.
It was on Annabelle's
Yeah, it was.
Instagram.
Look, this is really, really good stuff.
This is riveting podcast stuff. We're fully prepared every week. We spend hours and hours, making sure that you guys, the drifters, are hearing information that's current, up to date.
Top ranked.
Law of Indices are the other one.
Yeah. I think Law of Indices could be resuming. Anyway, let's get back on topic here. That was terrible.
So the fillies in the prelude.
Fillies, yes. How'd you see this one?
I really like Miss Rosiano. I can't believe she's $4.30. I genuinely can't believe that. $4.20, sorry, with Ned's. Yeah, she led last start all the way, kicked, found a gear, pressure was on, kept going. I think the same will happen here out of barrier 6. I really like her.
Yeah. Well, chuck Revolutionary Miss into your Quinella there.
Yep.
For Triple Crown. Queen of the Ball. Gave him an absolute spanking in Sydney. And you know what? Sydney form usually holds up. So
sure does.
Not thinking too much about it. Definitely a sit and watch for mine. It's a mini remember the Golden Slipper when Kiyomichi won? There was 5 Godolphin horses in there. There's 4 of them in here.
Yeah, bizarre.
Crazy. So good luck to Terry Bailey because I think Matty Hill's over in China. Anyway, what about the Rubiton? Race 7 at Caulfield.
Yeah, look, I had a bit of a look at here. I think the Freedmans have basically looked at Artorias and just thought, you know what, the 1,400, 1,600 metres, let's just make him a sprinter. Terrible habits at the gates, Mr. Artorias, the party bus. Always misbehaving, but I think he can win this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he can.
His last win was in the Blue Diamond.
He didn't win last prep, no.
No, so that's interesting. I didn't mind Maliva. I think this horse has some decent upside. Has performed against the older horses as well and gets a bit of weight relief. It's quite well in at the weights where Artorias is actually second in pegging here. So, I think Believer can find the front and just kick home at its best pet distance.
Yep.
Let's head to Sydney, I reckon.
Let's do it.
Southern Cross Stakes, race 6. You have Lost and Running, Law of Indices, Declan.
Shit.
Amongst others, King of Sparta and Quantico. Who'd you like here?
Big raps on this Quantico thing out there in the market. But I know he's lugging 61 kegs. It's only over 1,200 metres, lost and running. Sheesh, 4th in the Everest. We've seen horses come out of that and just blitz everything left, right and centre. Look, his prep started off pretty basic, lost and running, but he wasn't lost by the end of it. He was found. He was running fast. $5. I'm going to find out at that price. Tell you how much for free.
Yeah. Look, Bjorn's done this time and time again. When he gets a horse in form, it just jumps to the front and wins.
Bjorn is just he kicks him home and he celebrates like he's got $1 million on it, which very well could do.
Yeah.
So yeah, overpasses in some decent form. He could run well.
Yeah, why not? And you're still getting a price around the $7. So, all right, here we go. The light fingers.
Sheesh.
Race 7. Espiona wins this.
Espiona wins this. Look, if I'm going to spec on something at odds, there's 2 horses that have burnt me plenty of times before. 4 moves ahead, and Zuzarella's only burnt me once. Like, let's be fair. Like, I like her. They could run really good races, but if Espiona is what we think she is, she brains them.
Yeah, Jamea back to her own sex as well. She's a very good horse, Jamea, but
she's a good horse.
She's not. Her racing pattern is terrible.
It is terrible. Look, this is a great fillies race. You've got Hinged, you've got Star Tuntes, you've got Fangirl, who could be really good over the sort of Oaks distance, I'm thinking. Robbie Heathcote came out about Star Tuntes and said, don't know why she's that price. She should be a way bigger price. Love the honesty. Watch her come out and win. Really looking forward to watching this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you have the Apollo Stakes race 8. So Australia's darling returns very elegant over the 1,400 metres. So only 1,800 metres drop in distance, but this is a bit of a tough one.
Mate, this is a great race. How many Group 1ers we got here? Group 1 winners.
Yep.
1, 2.
Holding, Cascadian. No, Think It Over hasn't won a Group 1, I don't think. He has. Yeah. That's right. So Think It Over, Colding, Cascadian, maybe Maximal overseas? No.
Colette.
VE's won 10. Colette. Ice Bath has,
Hungry Heart.
Gone close. Hungry Heart's won.
Jewess.
Crikey. About 8.
Stacked race. VE's a champion mare, and she could win this because she's a champion mare, and that's what champions do.
Barrier 1, though.
She wouldn't mind. Yeah, Barrier 1 sucks for her. She wouldn't mind a little bit of stick in the ground, though,
Yeah.
Hooves going into the ground, enjoying it.
Who's the better wet tracker, VE or Colette?
Oh, much of a muchness for mine.
Much
of a muchness. I wouldn't be surprised to see Think It Over win this. I wouldn't be surprised. Maximal could win this. I think he could be a genuine Group 1 horse, Maximal.
There is a bit of rain scheduled in Sydney, so I'm hoping it's around a soft 7 because I want some cut in the ground because I want Colette to win. 650 with Neds at the moment. She's proven first up prior. I think she won this race last year. Timmy Clark in the saddle. She doesn't have a loyal jockey.
Nah.
They hand her around.
They just rattle through her.
Yeah.
Poor Colette.
Yeah. And she, how much has she won? 6.9 million.
Mate, look at some of the prize money here. 4.2, Think It Over. 6.4 Colding. 3.6 Cascadian. VE's 14.3, which is unbelievable. 6.9, lol. Colette. 3.7 for Ice Bath. That's not bad for a horse that's only won 4 times.
Yeah. The Golden Eagle will do that.
Yeah. The Invitation and the Golden Eagle running second there and then first in the Invitation. Not bad.
Bloody hell. I think I'm keen on Colette here. Obviously VE's in and around the money and, Think It Over. He's one of the best placed horses of all time in the spring. Screw the Group 1s.
No, I'm just going to win some money.
Take the cash, please.
Yeah, thank you.
4.2 milli. Thanks for coming. But yeah. Now, best bets of the weekend. Where'd you land?
Actually, none of the races that we've spoken about. I like Yee in race 5 at Randwick. Was on it last start. ran second, but it was a peach of a ride from J-Mac. Wariri Falls ran over the top of it late, which is in this race again. But I think, he had a little bit of second up syndrome. Will be better for the run. $2.50 with Neds. Look, I could say Espiona, I could say Probably, I could say all these horses, but $2.50, I think, whilst it's not heaps of value, it's a bit more.
Yeah. Nah, love your work. So race 5, number 2, Yee. Probably was my best. Race 9, number 1 at Caulfield. She won this last year. She's just better than this mob.
God, yeah.
What about other horses on the program? Did you have any other bets?
Yeah, I'll do like Miss Rosiano in the Phillies Prelude in the Blue Diamond for $4.20. So Caulfield race 4, number 1. I think she'll lead and I think she'll kick all the way. Miss Rosiano. Really like her. Going to bet on her this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I'm venturing to the Carline Cup. And I'm not going Spanish Mission. Can't really understand the price there. Apparently he's flying, but I don't think he's won a race. Oh, he's won a 2,000, but he's a genuine 2-miler, that big boy. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing Yonkers. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's got absolutely elite form going this way of going.
He does, yeah.
You know, loves the track, loves the distance.
He does.
Why not? He has some solid first up form, trialing well, which means nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he stinks of an upset. Ollie in the saddle. Why not?
Yeah, fair enough. Look, if I was going to bet on a roughie, it'd be that River Ribble thing, which is in the Colson Geldings prelude, the Blue Diamond prelude in Caulfield race 3. It's number 8. So there's a few little stabs at things for you guys.
Little specs.
You know, see what happens.
Lovely.
I guess you could call that the Juicy Stakes segment now. We've changed it a bit, but
yeah, you know, we're not giving out a roughie in each way or, you know, just because, to be frank, we weren't profitable.
Yeah, we weren't profitable. It was embarrassing. So what we're going to do is just give you a few horses that we're going to punt on this weekend. If you want to follow us in, make sure you do it responsibly.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that's all we had.
Yep. It's going to be a big season, mate. Welcome back.
Yes.
Thanks to Neds. Thanks to the Drifters. It's going to be big.
Tell a mate if, you know, they have ventured into the great world of horse racing. Let them know that, you know, we are around. We're happy to have them.
We welcome all types.
Absolutely. But yeah, thanks, bro. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, mate. I'll make sure the Ned stuff's here next week, eh?
Thanks, mate.
All right, cheers.
Hooroo.